One thing you can't, you just gotta go play. And you look at the stats after the game. I thought I did pretty good. There's some things I need to work on to improve. But I think overall, as an offensive unit, we responded when things weren't going good. We went down and we scored, and it gave the defense a lot of confidence, and they played a great job all day.
You knew anything from the guys? A lot of pressure there, but with their defensive ends. But after the first couple of plays, you were able to get the time, move around in the pocket like Coach said, and find somebody downfield.
Oh yeah, it just goes back to our scout team this past week. They gave us a great look. We knew what Auburn was going to try to do, and we knew if we blocked and I got the ball out to our receivers, they were going to make plays. So that just goes back to practice and understanding what they were trying to do to us.
After that kickoff return, what was said amongst the offensive players went out to take the field?
Everybody had confidence. That's one thing we do in camp is, situations like that, the defense, give up a turnover or something like that, or, the offense on the other team would go down and score. We just had to respond, and that's what we did. We responded. And I'm proud of the offensive line and the running backs and wide receivers. They did a great job.
Talk about Marcus Green and the day he gave you there.
Yeah, I'm happy to have Marcus Green back. He helps us out a lot. He's an older guy. He knows what to expect. I can count on him being in the right spot at the right time, and everybody's really good.
You said into him after that first drop, or just wide open? Y'all knew he'd be okay.
Yeah, I told him don't worry about it. Even Chris Mill, he had that drop. And, it's a fumble. So, we knew our defense. We got a lot of confidence in our defense, and we knew we had to come back. And, I didn't shy away throwing to Chris. He had some catches and stuff like that helped us move the ball down the field.
Would you call that your best performance so far?
I don't know. I could have went out there through 3 picks and only completed 11 passes or something like that, and we won the game. I did my job to win the game, and that's what you look at. You always want to win the game, and the things you do to help the team win is what happens.
Passing numbers down, especially in that first half. What were y'all doing?
Coach, like I said, we got a great group of coaches. Coach Wilson, Coach Hughes, Coach Smith, Coach Collins. They put in a lot of work and time to make sure we always in the best position. And it's just up to us to go out there and execute the plan, and we did a good job of that today.
Coach, you guys were able to stop their running back and get to the outside, whether it was you or Matthew or whoever, man. Just talk about that aspect.
When you watch film, one thing they like to do, they like to get to the edge. All week, since I've been here, they've been good. Since I've been here, Coach Smith been cussing us out, getting us mad when people get around the edge. And I told him the other day when we was giving the scouting report, I said, do not let these boys run around the edge. And Matt Wells, Skinner, everybody did a great job of doing that.
Tough for watching John with those picks.
It's great. One thing we big here in Mississippi State, and in the secondary especially, we want to get the ball. We all like to give ourselves credit for getting the ball, and that's what we've been doing lately.
Just talking about, I was talking to Tobias back there. He said no matter what the stats were, this game was going to be won in the line of scrimmage, and the offensive line beat Auburn's defensive line.
Yeah, I feel like the offensive line did a great job tonight blocking, pass blocking, and also run blocking. I think we had a good bit of rushing yards and a lot of passing yards tonight, so offense did their job.
How early did y'all know that y'all could gash them with those little counters inside? Because that's not something you've been able to do against Auburn a lot of years before, but this was different.
Yeah, we came in and knowing that we can run the ball on them. The main thing we was concerned about is about their defensive ends. They're big and athletic, and they're pretty fast too, so that's the main thing we was focused on. We knew we could run the ball and pass the ball on them, so that's one thing we was focused on.
You had some good holes up the middle, talking about the interior of that offensive line.
Yeah, because we studied the game film, and we was watching the inside guys, like the D-top, 3 techniques and stuff like that, and we knew we could run the ball inside on them. Like I said, they had some great defensive ends. They made some plays, but we just kept pushing, and the offense was clicking a lot tonight.
But Darius, you were committed to Auburn for a long time. I'm sure you knew a lot of those guys that you're playing against. How good does it feel to get a victory over those guys?
Yeah, I was committed to Auburn from out of high school, but it feels great playing against them and knowing the guys on the opposite side of the field. We was out there talking a little bit. Trash talk a little bit, but it wasn't nothing ugly, nothing like that. They helped me up a lot, talking to me. It was great out there.
It's huge for us, but our expectations this year as a team, through spring ball, through training camp, we set the bar high. We expected to get this win. There wasn't one time during this game that I ever thought we would get behind, we would ever lose. Just the amount of faith, the amount of respect and confidence I have in our offense and our defense, unbelievable. I knew we'd come away with a win, and I mean, you know, it's just huge for us.
Is that a little different than previous years, that you have that confidence and today kind of shows that?
Definitely. You know, a couple years past maybe it would have been questionable, but this year there's no doubt, and it's just start of some big things. I mean, we set the bar high, and we're going to get it right now.
So that first half, Kyle Frazier had -2 yards passing. What did y'all do?
I mean, we just executed. Our coaches making great calls, and we do what they tell us. We execute well, and that's what happens when you got a great coaching staff. We believe in the play calls they make. We do our job, and when you do your job and execute well and that kind of stuff, it just falls in place.
What was the game plan for that?
He was a young quarterback. You know, we knew we could kind of change things up, show him some looks, and then play something different. You know, but we just came in from all directions. I mean, we blitzed him, we dropped coverage, we did a little bit of it all, and I think that might have gotten us hit and confused him a little bit.
It looked like y'all were aggressive, but not too aggressive. It was just chasing after him and let him get outside containment.
For sure. You got to have a perfect balance. You know, you can't be too aggressive and they throw something at you, but you can't be too passive either. I think tonight we had that perfect balance.
Y'all bounced back from that kickoff return where I think a guy had a pretty good grip on you because that was your lane he went through. And
some would say, you know, it could be arguably, you know, I would agree, but, you know, it's whatever. You know, they returned one for a touchdown. Wasn't no doubt in my mind. I knew our offense was going to take the field and respond. I didn't worry one bit about it.
And after last year, I mean, to hold him without an offensive touchdown, repeated for an entire game, I mean, that's a statement.
It's huge for us. Hopefully we set a statement for the rest of the country. I know everybody's going to be watching film on us, and what they saw tonight is just the beginning. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we got to get cleaned up. Defense could have played better ball, you know, and you know, we got a long ways to go.
We can beat them and beat them pretty good. Like, I think it kind of payback for the close losses that we lost to them, and it's going to be good for the rest of the field.
Tyler was only sacked one time today. You know, what was the offensive line do? Was it pretty cohesive unit?
Oh yeah, I mean, this offensive line, we watch extra film together, even when we're not with our coach. So the chemistry we have together. I think I'm gonna name my sons, my first two sons, Dylan and Gabe. So we're a pretty tight unit, and I love these boys.
Talk about how impressed with you when Tyler, he took some hits today, but he got up after every hit and made a play.
Oh, Tyler, a warrior. I mean, he's been telling us all offseason this our year, and like we believe it. We really believe it. I mean, like 2 years ago we were saying we believe it. Last year we were saying we believe it, but this year we really believe it.
Did you see Auburn's defense almost kind of getting frustrated because their whole game plan is built on blitzing off the ends and those two big guys holding the middle? Y'all gashed them in the middle with the counters and you held them off on the ends.
I really think that our offensive line was better than the defensive line, and it showed during the game. So their speed, they got real speedy ends, and they offensive line, their interior defensive line is pretty stout. So, but with our preparation, we was able to counterbalance that.
Everybody can look at the stats, but you just said that's what the game was won. Offensive line against their defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about that all week. Like, I've been in the offensive meeting room, like, telling them that this is not a game, it's war now. And we won the battle tonight.
Good about the way they responded after that kickoff. Did you tell them anything, or just like, no, just go do what you're supposed to?
Well, again, we made adjustments at halftime. We felt like we had some things that we could expose them with, and we went through it and put it together, and the kids executed it. We were very pleased with it. I was very pleased with the way they reacted. It wasn't a, hey, rah-rah deal. Hey, you know what we're supposed to do. Let's get out here and do it.
Dan kind of said that about Tyler. He's not a rah-rah guy, but he just goes about his business, and people seem to follow.
There's no doubt. I mean, when he walks out there, I thought he played extremely well. He hit some passes for us that were really good, and I thought our receivers played well too. And that's when it all comes together. You're going to have the opportunity to score some points.
He seems to look at his best as well.
Well, he did that because there was a little bit more time too.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously he did a nice job doing that, and we saw some things that we could isolate Bump maybe one-on-one too, and Bump took advantage of it.
Marcus Green and the connection they had today.
No, there's no doubt. I was very happy for Marcus. Especially I think he dropped one of them earlier. And that's not like Marcus. He knows that, but he made the catch, came through, and made the play. So we're excited. I don't know if y'all recall. If I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago is where he tore up his knee against Auburn on the pass, and I was really happy for him to step back up.
Coach Stanley, you've always talked about Tyler in practice, and you give him time, he can tear a defense apart. Talk about how that played out today.
I thought it was really good. Thought the people up front did a great job for him too. And it all works together. I thought offensively we schemed him up as well as we could. Got in there and did some things to help him so that he could get the ball downfield. But again, he has to pull the trigger and make the decisions. I thought the decisions were very good. There wasn't anything that was glaring. Last week there was one or two things. This week was pretty solid now.
How much does it help to have that pistol formation really seems to work with Tyler? I know you did it last year with Chris, but his skill set seems to be very, very good.
Well, it's kind of two different issues. Obviously, Tyler's a different quarterback than Chris, so you got to utilize his talents when you get in that position, and we did. And again, just putting him in the pistol puts him a little bit farther away from the line, gives him a little bit more time, and allows him to football.
And then when you did those design rollouts, I thought he was very, very pinpoint accurate, more than he has been in a while.
He better be. He better be. I thought he was too. He stayed. It was really nice balls in the bump the corner of the end zone, and Bump ran a great route too.